Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie is Green Book. Viggo Mortensen and Mahershala Ali. I think I'm saying that right. 8.3 on IMDb. Over 14,000 people have reviewed it, so very high expectations for it. It's about a bouncer who takes the job as a bodyguard for an African-American pianist who's taking a tour down to the south of America, the United States, so America's South is what it says, and it takes place in the 1960s. So we all know what happened in the 1960s, you know, racial, prejudice and all that kind of stuff. So I'm assuming, I mean, you can tell just by that setup what it's going to entail. I think, the bouncer, an Italian bouncer, is going to experience a lot of things that are going on, and I think their relationship probably doesn't start off on the right foot, and as they tour together and become closer and see what's going on in the world that they probably build a better relationship. That's my guess. I don't know that for sure, but very highly rated, so I'm excited to see it. I think it's going to be pretty good. 2 hours and 10 minutes, a little bit longer, but that's okay. I'll get into it, tell you a better idea of what the plot is, what I'm thinking so far, and let you know at the end, or if anything interesting happens, let you know what's going on then, and we'll take it from there, alright? Stick around. I'll be back. Hey everybody, time for a quick check-in. We're watching Green Book. We're at the 55-minute and 7-second mark, so a little under halfway through, but I'm going to do a quick check-in, kind of following everything that I said. Green Book, the reason it's a Green Book, it's a book that they give people who are traveling through the South to keep, African Americans safe. So, what restaurants to go to, what hotels to stay at, things like that, so that it makes it a smoother ride for them whenever they travel down south. So that's why the title Green Book of the movie. That's why the title of the movie is Green Book. Tony plays the Viggo plays Tony, the bouncer, and then we have the pianist. I actually forget his name, but whatever. So they're traveling. So he gets the job, not only because he's a good driver, but because he has the bouncer skills as well. And they're just starting their road trip and going from place to place. But it's interesting. I had mentioned that I felt, or I read, that they don't get off on the right foot. And I had assumed that it's possible that Tony might be racist or prejudiced or something like that, and that's why they don't get along. It's the 1960s, and he does show a little bit of signs of that initially in the beginning of the movie. But as the two of them get together, it's not about that. That's not why they're not getting along. It's really because the pianist, he has multiple doctorates, in different things. He's obviously very good at piano, a very accomplished piano player, and had played for the White House. Very rich, and very classy, and everything that goes along with that. So, whereas Tony is a lot rougher. So he's a bouncer. He's a tough guy kind of thing, uneducated, can't write, can't read so well. And and he talks about how his vocabulary, and so the pianist is suggesting to Tony to he wants to make him a better person, wants him to stop cursing and using full sentences, whatever. So that's why they're kind of not getting along, like not doing certain things that he does, like littering. The pianist doesn't want him to litter. Wants him to try to do proper things. So they're building that relationship, but that's why they kind of they don't get off on the right foot initially. So but you could see it, they're starting to warm up to each other, and things are getting better, and we still have over an hour to go, so we'll see where it goes from here. But I wanted to give you a better idea of what's going on. Nothing bad has happened so far in the trip, but I think that's to come in the second half here. So I'll get back to it a little bit. If anything interesting happens, I'll step in and tell you about it, or I'll see you at the credits, whatever. So stick around. I'll be back. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of Green Book, and it was really good. A couple of things I forgot to mention, I think, along the way was the job that he took, Tony, the driver, bodyguard, whatever it is, was 2 months. 8 weeks he had to be away from his family and on the road, but he earned $125 for every week, and so it was worth it for him and his family. But he did stay away, and the catch was to be home by Christmas. And as the movie progressed, that was exactly what we thought. There was more racism or prejudice, or along the way. The pianist is playing for a lot of rich white people down south, and in certain situations he wanted to use their bathroom, wouldn't let him, those types of things. So it was dealing with all of that along his tour all the way up until the end, and watching the two of them and their relationship continue to grow stronger together. The other thing I think I failed to mention, you might have already noticed, I probably didn't even have to mention, it's based on a true story. So this is based on a true story, which I always love, and one of the things I always look for at the end of a true story is, do they show you what happens after the film? And they do, and they show real live pictures of the two people, the Doc, they call him Doc the whole time, and Tony, and what they were like in real life back in the 1960s. So I thought it was a really good film. It's what you think it's going to be. I mean, there's really, it's hard not to spoil it. I mean, if you know the concept of the movie or the plot line of the movie, you can understand what's going to happen. So it has to be, to put it over the top, a couple of things got to happen. The movie itself has to be authentic, and by that, looking at the cars, that was cool. I thought that was neat. It wasn't a whole lot of cars, but you catch those things, like, are they, the cop cars, or the car that they're driving in, of course, is going to be authentic to the time period. And the other thing is the acting, I think. And Viggo Mortensen, fantastic job of what he did here, I thought. I don't see him in a lot, so I don't know what kind of range he has, but he had to play, an Italian New Yorker, rough, from the Bronx kind of guy, and I thought he did a fantastic job in playing that role. And the Doc, Ali, I thought he did a pretty good job as well. Again, I don't think his was as much of a stretch, maybe, but I thought the acting was really good there. I don't know. I mean, this has the feel of maybe, award-winning type film. It's got that. The one caution I would say is it's 2 hours and 10 minutes. So there's a lot, until it gets into the, the trying pieces or the difficult spots for them. There's a lot of build-up, which can wear on you a little bit. So it seems a little bit to drag on early, but once it gets going, that kind of goes away. But it's the whole build-up of their relationship and the job that they have to do and things like that. So that's what I thought of it. I'm no expert or anything like that, but I think it's definitely a film worth watching. Just for, again, the acting, what's going to happen. But there's a couple of laugh out loud moments that I won't spoil for you, and some tender moments, if you will. But that's it. Check it out, definitely. I think it's worth it. Pretty good movie there. It was everything that it was built up to be, I think. So if you do check it out, let me know. Love to hear from you. Love to hear your comments. Subscribe to my channel, all that stuff. And thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.